Hello, my lovelies. Oh my God. Hi, lovelies. Welcome to Sip and Chat with Ruthie. Oh my God, I've missed you guys. It's been a minute. I know it's just been a couple of days, but I still miss you. And I'm really grateful that you've been keeping up with the conversations. You've been seeing how things have been going. We've lately we've been talking a lot about millennials because I feel like it concerns us. And last time we spoke about staying in relationships and maintaining relationships, and now I've been based on experiences and stuff, I've been seeing a lot of people deal with body issues. I've been dealing with body issues like growing up and everything. So I'm posing this question: beauty in the eyes of the beholder, and I put it as a question mark. It's like, who is that beholder? Who determines beauty and all this stuff? Like, it's crazy. I remember when I was growing up, I had series. I was a fat kid. I'm still a little bit on the heavy side, but I was a real fat kid with a big belly. I used to joke around and say if I fell somewhere, I'm just gonna roll continuously till I stop, until I hit something and stop. So that was the thing I was a little worried about when I was growing up, and it didn't help that I had cousins who make fun of how I looked until I remember the first time, because I just thought I was not one of the pretty ones. And I remember going to school and I was complaining about how short I was or how why I was always at the front of the class. And then my discipline master, I remember at the time, he said, Tima Fred, yes, that's his name. What he said to me was, "You are just perfect the way you are. Anybody taller than you is too tall." And just like I was just had to embrace myself the way I was. And it kind of like it was something very little, but it went a long way. And it kind of changed the way I looked at myself and viewed other people. But now we have this thing where we will look at other people and be like, yeah, that man no fine, or there's something really wrong with the person. But I don't know. So when we look at it, it kind of like promotes a body issue thing in the society. So right now, I have a guest today. She's an aesthetic doctor. She is Nigerian, pretty lady, super smart lady. And without any much ado, I want to welcome Dr. Uju Rapu to the show. Hi, Dr. Uju.
Hello, thank you for that nice introduction.
Oh, I didn't even call everything because you're like so much more. I'm so happy you decided to join me on this show.
Thank you for having me.
This I remember the first time we met. It was based. I think it was introduction from your dad. And if people don't really know who your dad is a preacher, right?
hmm
And we're talking beauty and image and everything, and you're a preacher's kid. So I don't even know. Like, first of all, I want to tell people a little bit about you. Uju Rapu is the director and founder of Belfiore Medicals, and she takes care of your aesthetic needs and your physical needs and your beauty needs and all that stuff. So tell me a little bit about Belfiore before we go forward.
Okay, so Belfiore Medical Aesthetics is an aesthetic practice. So I study medicine and I specialize in aesthetics, which is cosmetic care, skin care, any sort of aesthetic concerns. So I treat skin conditions, and then I also perform non-surgical cosmetic procedures. So we're basically fixing things non-surgically, like fat or wrinkles or lines, anything that's bothering you. So I see a lot of cosmetic concerns at the clinic.
Uh, like, because there's this whole conception being a Christian and being a preacher's kid and how you grow up. It was kind of like, oh, you're not supposed to look at the superficial things or the things of the world in quotes. So how does that even break the bounds? Have you faced issues being a PK and being an aesthetic doctor?
Not really. I think there's a lot of assumptions about what PKs are supposed to do and not do, and it's like at the end of the day, I'm the one in the household, and I haven't really had these um, that no one's telling me these things. So I think there's a lot of misconceptions from people outside, but on the inside, I mean, my parents support what I do, so I don't think there is anything wrong with enhancements or fixing things you might be concerned about. I feel, and I don't think it's a religious or Christian thing, but I think if someone came up and they say having all these issues, I'm not just trying to fix their superficial, I'm also trying to find out why. So I'm not going to have an 18-year-old come and say, I really want big boobs, and I start trying to fix. I'm sort of looking more like at the mindset, how you doing, what is there deep inside that is making you want this. So I don't have any issues in terms of like upbringing, Christianity, religion, and what I'm doing. So no, I don't have that.
So right now, growing up, like I was saying, I had issues with body and how I looked and stuff. And I was the person who always looked out and said, okay, I wasn't as pretty as that person. And then we kept hearing as some sort of reassurance that, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, that whoever determines or whoever it concerns is the one who has to choose if that thing is beautiful or not. So now, like, what is the standard of beauty? Because it's so much and it's so contradictory right now.
Yeah.
Before it was very skinny, no boobs, no ass, and your Victoria's Secret cover model, everything going on. And then it started changing. And right now, so what's really that standard of beauty? Who creates the standard of beauty?
You're right. So I feel like the standard of beauty is literally always changing, but I think there's a really strong link with culture and social media. So humans have something we call learned behavior, and things you're bombarded with, so things you're seeing, things you're hearing can affect how you behave and can affect your attitudes as well. So we know sort of more generally, most people would still sort of defining beauty as light skin, long hair, straightened hair. And I think that sort of came from really our history of the being colonized and the lighter skinned people getting better treatment. So that's really where that stemmed from. But in terms of now, in terms of body shape, big boobs, big hips, I think there's a lot of social media, a lot of culture, pop culture. So what are the Kardashians doing now? What are girls in music videos looking like now? So I definitely think culture, what's popular at the time definitely has a large part to play. But right now, if you'd ask most people, they're probably sort of describing more Caucasian features. So you're seeing long wigs, blonde wigs, fairer skin. So that one is really quite ingrained in our history. But then with time, I think people are sort of now looking more to what's trending at the moment.
But as speaking of what's trending, there's Doja Cat on right now who is under fire for hating the way she looks, allegedly, and she has there's some videos that surfaced with her on this racist sites talking about how she hates the fact that she's part black and black people or what, and there's this whole controversy. So like, how do you even identify, and that beauty thing that comes if you've not been taught that kind of love for yourself and for how you look, that how do we move away from that? And especially if you're already mature, how do you get to accept it and how get to fix it subsequently?
Okay, so I'm not really keeping up with what's happening right now, so I'm really behind on that story. I think that's a really good question, because I find that as we get older, like your attitudes and your beliefs are so like ingrained, so you might not even realize that you're thinking wrongly. You're just sort of used to feeling, I'm not really looking like I should look, or I'm not looking like what people are thinking is cute right now. I feel like the most important thing is to identify something is off. So I always ask people, like, okay, so everyone has sort of their hang-ups. I wish this, I wish that, I wish this was this. But sit down and think, like, is this really making me feel really bad? How is this making me feel? And when you're able to identify there is something a little bit off about how you're feeling, maybe you're not feeling too good, and you can normally tell, I shouldn't be feeling like this, but I just happen to be feeling like this. I think try and identify what is making you feel like that. So is it because you're online looking at pictures of some video vixens? Are you following certain girls on Snapchat? Because I have a younger friend, she's like 17, and she was like, oh my god, that I literally feel like I can't keep up. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, all the babes on my Instagram are so hot, and their body, and they're this. And I was just like, I think I used to get off Snapchat for a while. So I think it's to really identify, and most times you'll find it's maybe people you're following or certain things you're watching. maybe certain people around you are saying certain things. So I think identify, and then if you can cut off what you feel is making you feel that kind of way, and surround yourself with people that are encouraging you or people that make you feel beautiful, like, you know, friends that are telling you you're looking good or complimenting you, as opposed to, like, I saw on social media some girl that said her friend said she can't be on her bridal train because she's too dark skinned and doesn't match the yellow of it doesn't match the dress, the bridesmaid's dress, because of her skin color. So I'm just like, why would you even have that kind of friend around you? Those are the kind of things that will make you feel.
But sometimes that is like, there's people like that. I think it's easier said than done, because for those who even have those friends that will tell them shitty things like that, I feel like it's been like gently chipping away at you until it becomes a new normal. Like, I remember there was a time in my life where I felt that no amount of makeup was going to make me pretty or presentable enough to be outside and get somebody to love me or look my way. And this had come about being in some relationship that was really abusive, like psychologically abusive, verbally abusive. And it started I didn't even see it happen. And it was my friends around me just like, you're literally becoming another person. You're not a happy person anymore. There's something wrong. And it's this kind of craziness where I will look in the mirror and then what I see will be this exaggerated pimple or this wrinkle or something. And I promise you, I think I was like 25 at the time. And I was seeing, I think I was like 24, 23. And I'll see this wrinkle and I feel like, oh, this is the worst thing of me. If I leave this man right now, nobody else is going to tolerate the way I look. And that's how crazy it was. And it took some friends to get me out of it, but still that stayed. That really stayed. And worst thing is coming to Nigeria, where a lot of the women, everybody is in full makeup.
So superficial.
Exactly. And I'm like, how do I like measure up to these girls? There's some people I would be so scared to interact with people because I feel like I'm this redheaded stepchild who nobody wants to be around. So how do we even tolerate, like move with that and like fix ourselves?
So what you've actually described is called body dysmorphia. Have you heard of that? Body dysmorphia. Yeah. It's when someone is so preoccupied by a flaw that they've actually over exaggerated in their mind. So no one else is really noticing. So I see, it's interesting because I see a few people come in, and it's normally sort of what drives a few people to seek cosmetic procedures and cosmetic surgery, because you're always focusing on this thing and you find it literally just blows up in your mind. So it is I do think it's a bit more common. Maybe we just sort of see various not some a bit more severe, some quite mild. How to fix it? I think I find it quite interesting that you said maybe in hindsight for you, but you said I would see this pimple and it would look a lot worse because other people are not really noticing, but you find when you see you're seeing this when no one else is saying anything about it. I think the most important thing is really insight into knowing that there's something slightly wrong with how I'm thinking or how I'm seeing myself. In terms of fixing that, again, I think it's to cut off certain things that are making you feel a bit like that. So you noticed as well. And these things can happen quite subtly, but you notice, it was the person you were dating at that time that was saying things and abusive. So in hindsight, really, when you start noticing that, it's to cut it off. I definitely think keeping friends around you as well. So good friends, someone you can go and talk to, and your friends are the ones that are like, something is off right now, or there's nothing wrong with how you're looking. So I think having positive reinforcement around you definitely helps. And then really just staying around people that make you feel good about how you look and how you are as your own person. And I think doing things that make you feel good as well. So you find if you get up and you dress up, obviously we're all indoors now, but get up and dress up, you feel good. So do more of what makes you
like
feel
I'm doing right now.
Exactly. So do more of what makes you feel good. And then you surround yourself with people that actually know you for you, and no one is looking down or talking down on you, because that sort of makes things worse.
I was thinking, before we go into more stuff, I'm a little thirsty. What are you sipping on, Dr. Uju?
Something nice and healthy. So I have like my green tea here.
Oh, Lord. Let me see how it looks. Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
quite bland. I nobody put honey, but I was rushing, so it's just literally pure green tea and hot water.
oh
But
boy.
it'll do.
Actually, but crazy thing, we're almost the same because this is actually just water
What do
and
you
lemon.
drink? No way.
I'm
I'm
serious.
surprised.
I
I
guess.
saw a big bottle of wine in your last one. I was like,
Right? No, because
can we share?
today, because I try to stay healthy and I try to hydrate as much, but yesterday I couldn't really hydrate. I don't know
Yeah,
why. I kept forgetting to drink water. So today I put the
yeah,
lemon in it so that it can actually retain a little bit. Yeah.
yeah.
I want to show you something, Dr. Uju, like before I ask you this question. Can you read
Sure.
this? So this is a tweet from a tweet thread from Feature, the artist.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Leave the Mowgli Girls alone. Don't get high and treat ugly girl pretty. Huge mistake. Ugly girls be in imaginary relationships." And this is somebody who is referencing somebody he's been with, and he's calling her out like that in public and calling her ugly. Now, question is, how impactful, how effective is a man's opinion on a woman's beauty?
Annoyingly, it affects women so much. So even sort of looking up the history of bleaching and skin lightening, a lot of women were known to lighten their skin to attract men. So the fact that they took a man's opinion. I
Mhm.
don't even know if it was that men were telling them we want your skin to be light, but just sort of having that thought, oh, this man likes lighter skin. The fact that you're going to go and use things that
Mhm.
are going to damage your skin just to impress a man. So
Yeah.
a lot of women were known to have that as a reason why they were using such toxic products on their skin to attract a mate, to
Yeah.
attract men. Even now, if you see all the arguments on social media about the whole body enhancement, body surgery,
Mhm.
a lot of women will say because guys like this. And it's funny because a lot of the guys are like, leave your body, you're looking
Mhm.
good already. But a lot of women are, you're dressing up for men,
Mhm.
you're getting your wigs because you're trying to look attractive for a man. So
Yeah.
I do think that some people might not want to admit, but I do think a lot of people are looking good to attract somebody. That comes up a lot in why women sort of go ahead with certain things. So I even see that in the clinic, where ladies come and say, okay, I've been married for 10 years, but I feel like I need to make my husband keep looking at me, or my husband made a comment 10 years ago, you look like this, so they're here trying to do this. I see that quite a lot. So I do think men's opinion, it does sort of affect a lot of attitudes and behaviors that women present with.
And being an aesthetic doctor, have you had experiences of men coming in for procedures feeling insecure?
I do have men coming in. I mean, nobody tells you I'm feeling insecure. That's why I'm here. But I feel like if you've coming, there's something you want to correct. So I don't always say that it means you're insecure, to be honest.
Mhm.
I think that's a bit a bit extreme. So some
Yeah.
people might be insecure, but some people just, have something that they just don't like and they would like to fix it. So I do have some men in terms of what they're coming in with. So skincare, so maybe they're breaking out, so they don't like how their skin looks, which is fine. So we treat men as well. So we have a few men who get some procedures done. And then so the men are definitely getting a bit more comfortable. I think we're just in quite a superficial society. So we have both men and women, yes.
And speaking of that, even because we had spoken about body dysmorphia in the beginning. Where do you find the line that separates body dysmorphia from just I just want to have surgery, or I just want bigger boobs and bigger butt and bigger lips at the same time? Not that I have a problem with what I have, just want it bigger and more
Yeah,
out
that's a
there.
really good question. So we were taught, well, in most of the training I've done in aesthetics, that we will see people coming in with body dysmorphia and maybe signs of psychological challenges, or in that area.
Mhm.
And so we were taught to, when you're having a consultation, try and pick out signs like red flags. So because I've sort of seen a lot of people over the past few years, a few of the red flags I've noticed, so before I do a procedure, I will make sure I have a consultation with you. And during the consult, you're explaining your issues, why it's an issue, and I'm really listening. But things I pick up, some people would come and say, the number of procedures they've done. So I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, I've done that. I didn't like this here, so I came here. So they're never really satisfied.
Yeah.
So a lot of people come, okay, I have, this, get rid of it. Okay, I'm fine, I'm happy. They don't come back. But some patients will be like, okay, got my butt done. Now stretch mark, fix this. So there's always something they're noticing. You find that I don't think when you start, a lot of people, no one is 100% happy with how they look, but then people that are paying attention constantly to their flaws will keep coming to try to fix. So I pick up on that. Then sometimes their emotional sort of how they describe it. So I've had people say, this line on my face, it's so bad. Everyone's looking at it. I feel really suicidal. Like my boyfriend left me because of this. And you're like, okay, I'm not going to say it's not there. Like, yeah, I can see, but how you're describing
it's not as bad.
Yeah. So that comes through. I think the most common thing I see is they've gone around to different places. They're usually trying to fix things that are not objectively, not too obvious.
Yeah.
And then normally how they describe what they're talking about. So that's how I would pick up on something, in which case it's now like taking the decision, should I treat, should I not treat? So I actually have a psychologist. I wanted to bring in some psychotherapy into my practice. I have a psychotherapist. So sometimes I'd say, is that something you want to talk about? Because some women will just throw in, my husband said that.
Yeah.
And you find sometimes it's a cover. So they just literally keep talking like, oh yeah, your husband did, my husband did that. And I just say, would you like to talk to someone so we can fix this?
Yeah.
And then I try not to overfix. So I tell my staff, always compliment your patients. You look so nice. I love what you're wearing, your hair. And I find it makes them smile. So there's a lot of psychology behind it, really.
Is there a cure for dysmorphia?
Body dysmorphia, typically you would be referred to a psychotherapist. So it's really just talk therapy. So a few times it's normally a cover for something someone might be dealing with. Maybe, for example, abuse in childhood, or being with an abusive partner, or maybe you had parents that was always saying you're fat, you're this, you're that, or bullying. Yeah. So really, psychotherapy just uses talk therapy, talking through things with people, finding out why they think how they think, and correcting their thought patterns. So we identify there's something wrong with how you're thinking, and we're going to talk you through and see how we can change how you think. So it's normally just sort of therapy that sorts that out.
Oh, fantastic. And before I let you, I don't want to keep you all day here because I think that we can chat for the whole day. So I feel like plastic surgery, though, is very common now and everything, it's still almost a taboo thing to talk about, to tell people they've had surgery. I remember the first very open one that we're talking about in Nollywood was Iniedo, who I feel the movie Chief Daddy and her first scene when she was revealed there, and everybody was like, oh my God, like, what have you done? And not really coming out and accepting that she did it. And then also when we're watching, I didn't watch Big Brother, but the aftermath that everyone was telling me and calling different names, and I couldn't identify them because almost all the girls looked alike, like the same body, the same face and everything, they looked alike. So I couldn't really tell. But nobody is really coming forward and say, I've had surgery, where I feel like it's okay, but it's still taboo. Why do you think so?
I think Nigerians are scared of people talking. Why enhancement may be a taboo, I think, is around what most people are thinking is the reason people get their bodies done. So most people are thinking, oh, you got your body done because you're trying to attract a man, or you got your body done because you have low self-esteem. So someone might just want to do it, but they don't want their neighbor to think that they have low self-esteem. I think that's why they do things in secret, and they don't want to say that they've done it because it might be to them like confessing, I don't like how I look, I have poor self-esteem. So that's the reason I think. And then people are judging. So why would you do this? Okay, you got complication, good for you. So I think so. I mean, it's okay to not want people to be in your business, to be honest. So I think whatever you're comfortable with, but I would probably think that's the reason people don't, are not too comfortable talking about things like that.
That's quite true, because I remember, let me reveal to the world. So I had a procedure. It wasn't that invasive though, but Dr. Uju hooked me up with something that was going to help me burn fat in my belly faster.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember talking about it. I'm like, I just come from the doctors, and yeah, she had this thing done on my belly, and they're like, "Why would you do that to yourself?" And it was
Exactly.
crazy. I'm like, no, I'm just the same, and it doesn't matter. I'm not even saying that because it was the non-invasive. I'm even saying that even if I want to go get a whole tummy tuck, it's me. I don't want the flap. So what? You're still the same person who's gonna judge me for having extra belly fat. You're gonna judge me for having the waist wrinkles and the little love handles, but you're not gonna let me do the surgery. Why? I don't know. Like, how do we? I feel like we need fixing. My friend always tells me we need to hit control delete and reset our memory and reinstall everybody right now because we have issues and our issues
Yeah.
have issues. So how do we, like, moving forward and fixing ourselves? How do we proceed?
I mean, I think in terms of fixing how you feel about
Mhm.
yourself, without you mean, and getting what if you want to do things, I think you just have to really be bold about it, to be honest. So you find that the people that have come out and said, okay, I don't care, whatever, I did that. People
Mhm.
talk, there's uproar, but then people forget. No one talks about it again. So it's
That's
really
true.
just taking that, you're just taking that step and knowing that, you will get some backlash, but it's really just have thick skin. I don't care. It's my body. And I mean, there's always something new. So people are literally going to forget about it. So I think it's really just not caring about what people are going to say, because at the end of the day, people are not saying things because they're worried about what other people are going to say. So it's really to get to that point where I don't care. I'm doing it for me. This is
Mhm.
what I want. And, it's okay. I think everyone is entitled to do what makes them feel better. So to get to that point,
Are you ever going to have any enhancements done?
I don't know, I have to wait and see. But I think right now nothing bothers me too much.
Okay.
I mean, I've had the lipo injections. I've tried a few things on myself, purpose of learning. I like to
Yeah.
tell my clients what it feels like. But I just
Mhm.
think maybe my own personality, I'm not really, it's nothing that bothers me too much. So honestly, I don't know. Maybe if something comes up, I can tell you then.
Or maybe when you
Yeah.
start having babies and then you be like, yeah,
Exactly.
my
My
boobs are not the
mommy
same.
makeover loading.
Right, right.
Who
Oh
knows?
my God. I'm so happy, Dr. Uju. Thank you for joining me. It's been
Thank you for having
fantastic
me.
to talk to you. I wish I could stay with you all day, but people are going to beat my ass for keeping them watching us for the whole day. So
It's
thank you.
okay.
And I hope I'll see you on another show.
Definitely. It was fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good. Cheers.
All right. Bye.
Oh my God, you guys. I was so educated about this. Body image is not something small. It's people may look at it like it's like, oh, you're superficial. Why are you thinking about how you look? You're very superficial. But you have to deal with yourself for the rest of your life. So how you look and how you feel about how you look is very important. So we need to figure a way moving forward and being less judgy towards people who want to fix their lives. Okay. Thanks for watching Sip and Chat, my lovelies. I love you, and I will see you on the next episode. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Oh, this way. Hit the subscribe button and follow me and get notifications for the next show. All right. And then also you can drop in the comments what you want me to talk about and what questions you have for potential guests I'm having on. All right. Cheers.